So why would we want to supplement with vitamins and minerals? You know, most people get told, oh, I have enough, you know, I eat lots of fruits, lots of vegetables, I have enough vitamins in my life. Why do I need to take a multivitamin? Soil analysis in the last 80 years has shown a massive decline, about a 75% decline in things like zinc and magnesium. So commercial farming, we pour loads of stuff onto our crops to make them grow. We put lots of chemicals on there. That really depletes the nutritional value of our crops. We prematurely harvest lots of our fruits and vegetables. So much so that in 1951, 2 peaches gave you a recommended daily allowance for vitamin A. And these days, we need to eat 53 peaches to get the same because of this early harvesting. Horrendous. Lots of chemicals put onto crops. That's caused some massive problems as far as our bodies are concerned, because our bodies aren't designed to cope with all these chemicals that we're ingesting every day. It's estimated that now, since the 1940s, there are 500 chemicals that didn't exist in 1940 in the average human being that shouldn't be there. So lots of problems with toxic overload. Stress really depletes our nutrients. So we live in a very stressful world. The process of driving here this morning, for many of you, I'm sure there were stressful moments as you trying to get through Cork traffic in the morning. It's not easy. Probably not a single one of us has a truly balanced diet. I know they did a study, the Journal of the American Medical Association. They took 21,000 people and they analysed their diets, and not one person met the minimum requirement for all those vital nutrients. So moving through the various vitamins, brewer's yeast, what's brewer's yeast for? This is probably the original food supplement, brewer's yeast. Byproduct of the brewing industry. Some bright spark thought we might as well make use of that stuff. It's good source of B vitamins, and they turned it into tablets, and people have been taking it ever since. Great for energy production, good for sleep support. Good as an insect repellent. If you're going abroad, take some brewer's yeast with you. Take some B vitamins with you, probably B1 as well, but take some brewer's yeast. It gives off a smell that the female mosquito, she's the one that gets you, she doesn't like it at all. So good source of B vitamins, but also a good source of chromium as well. Chromium is our blood sugar balancing mineral. So we'll come to chromium a little later on. So our product is just pure brewer's yeast. There's nothing else. It's one of those unique things that just tablets. We can make a tablet. It doesn't make a mess of the machines. It's just tablets. Great. Folic acid. We know folic acid is great for neural tube defects. We know it's very important as far as prevention of things like spina bifida. Folic acid is also very good for heart disease prevention. There are certain substances in our circulation called homocysteine. Elevated levels can cause big problems with heart disease. It also causes thinning of our bones. And folic acid, B6 and B12 together really help to reduce that. Anemia. Many of the cases of anemia aren't down to people having iron deficiency. They'll be down to folic acid deficiency or B12 deficiency, as well possibly as iron deficiency, or a combination of all those three. It's really important for DNA synthesis. It's important for the production of red blood cells. That's why it's important in anemia. So ours is the 400 micrograms that our UK Chief Medical Officer recommends for the prevention of spina bifida. I would imagine that's the same situation here as well. Niacin, or no-flush niacin, this is a substance called inositol hexanicotinate, to give it its full name. The reason it's no-flush is nicotinic acid, in meaningful amounts, the amounts needed to have a therapeutic effect, cause a massive flushing. Any ladies that have been through the menopause will appreciate you don't want to be flushing if you can possibly help it. Cholesterol reduction. Peripheral vascular disease, so things like Raynaud's syndrome. Energy production, it's very important, nicotinic acid, niacin, in producing something called NADH, which is part of our electron transport chain, the energy production cycle. It has anti-cholesterol, anti-lipidemic action. And as I say, it's also been shown to be good for things like Raynaud's, etc. So our product is this no flush version. So we do we do actually do 3 B complexes. We do a B plus C, a low dose B complex, and a mega B. But unfortunately, our mega B is 100 milligrams of B6, so we're not allowed to sell it over here. The IMB certainly won't allow that. It's great for stress, is B vitamin. Good for our mental health. It's good for when we've got low energy levels and we need to pick up, like those footballers I was talking about. So, although the bees have individual activities, some do, it's like B1 has insect repellent activity, and B12 is good for anemia, etc. They do have individual activities. They also work really well synergistically, because there's a lot of crossover in what the B vitamins do. They're very important in helping to release the potential energy that's locked within our food. So this is why they're so good for energy, because they do help us to release that energy. Stress, we know that it can affect things like sleep and mood and heart health, energy, even bone health. High stress levels can thin our bones. It sounds strange, but that's the case. And the B vitamins are known as the anti-stress vitamins. Magnesium we'll come to in a short while. That's the anti-stress mineral, but this is the anti-stress vitamin. So our 2 products, we've got the 50 milligram roughly across the board with 250 milligram Vit C version. It's great if you can either maybe take 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. It lasts 6 to 8 hours in the body. The one thing I'd always warn people about with this one, it turns your urine bright yellow. So warn your customers. I didn't warn my dad the first time I gave him some, and he thought I was trying to kill him. Vitamin C is great for stressful times. Our immune system really takes a battering when we're under stress, so adding that vitamin C in there is very helpful. It's sustained release, as I say, 6 to 8 hours, and it's vegan and vegetarian. The other version is very much a safety net. It's a low dose. I'd probably go for the B plus C if I was coming across anybody that's coming with an issue with stress. That's certainly going to be more appropriate. About 5 times the RDA for those things. B1 for prevention of deficiency, for mental function, for the prevention of insect bites. So thiamine forms a particular enzyme called thiamine pyrophosphate, or TPP, and that enzyme is essential for nerve function, for carbohydrate metabolism, energy production. It's also important in mimicking the action of acetylcholine as well. So really important. We know this is an issue for Alzheimer's sufferers. B1 could well be something that Alzheimer's sufferers could be looking at in the future. We also know that alcoholics tend to be very low in levels of B1. Water-soluble B vitamins very easily flushed out by the system, so alcoholics are likely to be low in all their Bs and their vitamin C. So this product is 100 milligrams of B1 and it's suitable for vegetarians. Sublingual B12. What is B12 for? It's great for mild deficiency. If you've got severe deficiency, you're likely to get a B12 injection. They last, or supposed to last, for a period of months. Usually part-way through that period of time, people need a little bit of extra support, and this is a good way of kick-starting that extra support. Pernicious anemia and depression in the elderly is also linked quite often to B12 deficiency. Support for people on proton pump inhibitors. And the reason that proton pump inhibitors and the elderly are groups that don't have enough B12 is they lack intrinsic factor. Intrinsic factor is something in our stomachs that is produced to help us absorb and utilize our B12. So by using a sublingual B12, one that's popped under the tongue and dissolves under the tongue, goes through the mucous membranes and into the bloodstream, you bypass that process. Vegans and vegetarians, vegans in particular, often lacking B12. Vegetarians get a little bit from cheese and things like that, dairy products, but the vast majority of B12 comes from meat and fish and those type of things. So this is what we were saying about intrinsic factor. So our product, 1,000 microgram, it's a pleasant cherry flavour. It's cherry because that's my favourite flavour and I got to choose. So that's why it's a cherry one. No other reason than that. Vitamin C, I'm sure we're all familiar with vitamin C, and it's great for the immune system, it's a good antioxidant, it's good for arthritis. It won't ever stop you getting a cold. It'll shorten the length of a cold, it'll make it less severe, but it won't stop it. So those people that mistakenly take vitamin C all the way through the winter in the misapprehension that it's actually going to stop their colds, it won't. It will make it more manageable. It has a major role in collagen formation. This is why there's an EFSA health claim for vitamin C on any joint products that we produce. Iron absorption also relies very heavily on vitamin C. We know it's important for our immune system. So we produce a number of products. We have a 1,000 milligram low acid version, an effervescent version. The low acid is a mixture of sodium and calcium ascorbates with ascorbic acid, just lowers the pH. So people that suffer with excess acidity, they can take that quite comfortably. The effervescent is 1,000 milligram of pure ascorbic acid. We do a 500 milligram chewable. That chewable version is sweetened with stevia and sorbitol. The low acid, as I say, for delicate digestive system, and the effervescent is sweetened with sucralose. D3, really we should put up what it's not good for, because what it's good for is absolutely, it's a never-ending list at the moment. Every week we hear vitamin D3 is now good for this, a deficiency of D3 causes this issue. But the traditional ones are things like bone health, SAD, you know, we live at similar latitudes to yourselves, winter months, dark nights, a lot of SAD in our countries. Immune system. Vitamin D is really important for the immune system. The media have recently caught onto this. There were some great articles a couple of weeks ago. Oh, it's good for the immune system. We've known this for years and years and years because it supports a gene that controls the production of a substance called cathelicidin, and that's a really key immune system substance. So great for bone mineralization, great for that gene. Ours is 1,000 IU tablet, 400 microgram tablet, and it's suitable for vegetarians, not vegans. We do use some vegan D3. They've just developed a vegan D3 in some of our products now. It comes from lichen. Traditionally, the vegetarian one comes from lanolin from sheep. 400 IU or 200 IU vitamin E, so these are the capsules, circulation, antioxidant. We know 400 IU is the optimal dose when it comes to vitamin E. The Cambridge Heart Antioxidant Study said that was the magic amount. What they didn't tell you is occasionally, sometimes people starting on a 400 IU vitamin E will get palpitations. So start on a 200 IU for a week, then double it up after a week, and then you're on to the 400 IU. That's the optimal dose, but work your way up to it. Don't go straight in there. It's the most powerful antioxidant vitamin is vitamin E. It's really important in things like cell respiration, reproduction, skin health, maintaining sulfur amino acids. So ours is a GM-free. All vitamin E is produced from soya. Soya is probably the highest crop for the content of GMs, genetically modified organisms, GMOs. Ours is guaranteed GM-free. It's 200 or 400 IUs of D-alpha tocopherol. That's the most active form of vitamin E. There are 7 other forms of vitamin E, 3 more tocopherols and something called tocotrienols. The 3 tocopherols are also mixed with D-alpha tocopherol in the 12 or 24 milligrams of mixed tocopherols that are added to this particular product. And it's in a base of sunflower oil as well. It needs that fat, that oil, to be able to be absorbed. We do a 20,000 IU oil. That sounds really potent. That's the total content of the whole bottle. A daily dose, 1 mil, is 400 IU. And for the liquid version, you can still use it in the same way as you use the capsules. You just drop 1 mil into your mouth. So orally, it's very, very effective. but it's also really good on the skin. This is my wife's favourite product that Nature's Aid produce. Put it on your skin. It doesn't leave your skin feeling oily or greasy. It's really good natural moisturiser. So good for skin care, scar prevention. Nail and hair care, you can dip your cuticles into a little bowl of vitamin E and it makes them look really nice. As antioxidant, it's great for our heart and our circulation, just the same as the capsules are. It certainly helps with scar prevention. I had some photographs sent me recently from a retailer whose daughter had been unlucky enough to scald her arm very, very badly, been to the hospital, started using our vitamin E on the skin and taken photographs all the way through the process. And the photographs were obviously quite unpleasant to start with, but by the end her skin was completely healed, no issues. The hospital were amazed. And she said it was all down to using the vitamin E, so it's a great one for burns and things like that. Psoriasis, eczema, great skin moisturiser. You can even use it on the lips. And around the eyes as well, where most things you're very cautious about what you put around your eyes. And you put it in your bath water as well. If you just want to add a nice touch of oil to the bath, then put it in there as well. So great for internal, external applications, suitable for vegans and vegetarians, and it's in a base of medium chain triglycerides, which is coconut oil basically, and guaranteed GM-free. Q7, vitamin K2, probably the most exciting developments at the moment. This is a new one for most people. It's going to be as big as vitamin D3, without a shadow of a doubt. Give it 3 or 4 years, people will be taking K2 and D3 together. So what's it good for? It's great for our bones, and it's great for our hearts. And the reason it's good for your heart, it takes calcium that's deposited in our arteries, which is one of the key components of arterial plaque, takes it from where it shouldn't be, because we probably get too much calcium in our diets, and puts it where it should be, i.e. the bones. So it's helping the heart, and at the same time it's helping the bone. Vitamin K controls 2 enzymes, proteins, sorry. Those proteins are osteocalcin, which helps to produce bones, and matrix GLA protein, which helps to clear the arteries out and move that calcium out of the arteries. There's some great studies. I know the European Union have just provided millions of euros of funding to the research group that are working with vitamin K2. They're doing a lot of research in Rotterdam on this. We don't get a lot of vitamin K2 in our diets. Vitamin K is manufactured by some of our bacteria in our gut. K2 comes from fermented cheese. If you eat fermented cheese, you get a little bit. If you eat natto, full marks go to the top of the class, because that's where you get most K2 from. And unless you're Japanese, you probably don't eat natto for breakfast. It's fermented soybeans. It's the world's richest source of K2. So most of us in the Western world don't get any K2, or very little. So ours is MENA-Q7. This is the company, the product, the patented product that's been used in all the studies. It's by far and away the best researched form. It sits in the body for 24 hours, so it has a very good long half-life. So you can put it into bone formulae that you would take at night, and then you don't need to take your next tablets till the following night, so it sits there for the full day, gives you full protection, and it's suitable for vegans and vegetarians. We put a bit of vitamin D in ours as well. Great food supplement. And it's effective between 45 and 180 micrograms. Above 180, you don't really see a great deal extra benefit. Below 45, you won't really see any benefit. So 45 is where it starts to really be effective. And so we've got 100 in ours.